Good evening and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin and I am the Dream Decipherer, and I help you to crack the code of your sleep and dreams so you can sleep sound and dream deep. This evening's dream is in three parts, same dream, three sections, and t shirts and DJing feature. So let's get right into it and see what's going on. In the first part of this dream, the dreamer reports that he was talking to a male friend about the friend's new client called Black Dog Productions. This company apparently had a quantity of T-shirts that were surplus to their needs, so the dreamer's friend had thought of a somewhat unorthodox way of the local government, the local council, buying the T-shirts from this organization, Black Dog Productions, at a discounted rate and saved everyone, including the local government, money. But when this friend discussed the matter with their new manager, the manager did not agree. She said that things should be done properly, and the conversation between this person and their manager actually became rather heated. At this point, the dreamer suggested to the friend that just to keep peace with his boss and not create unnecessary problems, that just do as his boss asked and not create, don't make waves. So in the next section of the dream, the dreamer was talking about DJ with a pair of friends, a male and female, and they asked why the dreamer hadn't pursued their desire to be a DJ. The dreamer kind of waffled on the answer because he didn't want to admit that their skills weren't up to scratch for the job. Basically, they weren't up to the job. So the male friend asked about the dreamer's taste in music, suggesting that, or wondering rather, if that's why the dreamer wasn't successful at DJ. The female friend suggested that the dreamer actually play more reggae music, and that little section ends. In the final section of the dream, of another friend, a female, was organizing an extremely lavish party for one of her friends and had been busy making preparations and deciding who to invite and who would help her out on the day. Even controlling what people would wear to the party. The dreamer bumped into her during this planning period at a large railway station, a large train station. The dreamer reports sitting down and chatting to this woman while waiting for his wife to arrive. And once his wife arrived, they took an unusual route home on an overland train. Now, and the dream ends there. So that's the three sections of the dream. Now, I'll take each section and see what comes out of it, and then we'll try to tie it all together and find out what's going on. In the first section, what struck me about that was the name of this company called Black Dog Productions. Now, Black Dog is an expression that some people have used to describe depression, the black dog of depression. And I wonder if there is something or possibly someone that the dreamer finds depressing or depressive in some way. Now, the other thing was this slightly unorthodox way. It's like it almost makes me think of that expression, the stuff that fell off the back of a truck kind of thing. Um, so I wondered if these t-shirts and the way that this person was trying to sell these surplus t-shirts was a little on the slightly dodgy side, or actually illegal. Was it actually illegal? What was it? What was this slightly unorthodox manner that the dreamer's friend was trying to ship these t-shirts? So that led me to the manager, this female manager, and who remonstrated with this person about how they went about selling these or going about selling these t-shirts, insisting that things be done properly, whatever that may mean. So my first question here is, what does doing things properly actually mean? What is the proper way? My next question here, though, for the dreamer is there an area, excuse me, of the dreamer's life where things are maybe done in a less than proper way, something that's slightly dodgy in some kind of way? So, but what's interesting here is in this part of the dreamer is acting as a voice of reason, actually trying to reason with the friend, suggesting that just give in, just don't make waves, don't create problems with your boss, just do it her way and be done with it. And that prompted the question to me of, is there some area of the dreamer's life where they could be giving in just to keep the peace, rather than damage a particular relationship? Is there something that could possibly damage a relationship, because it's not proper in some way? But moving on from there, we go to this bit about the DJing in the middle, the second section of the dream. The dreamer admits, at least in the dream, to himself that he felt inadequate, not up to the task of being able to do DJing in the particular style or genre that was he was interested in, but yet is afraid to acknowledge openly those feelings. And my first question is why? I mean, it's a skill you can learn, so why feel embarrassed or ashamed about something you don't know how to do? It just seems like it would be a call to try to improve themselves and try to learn. And my questions here for the dreamer were, is the dreamer afraid of something that's new or different in some way that may seem slightly unorthodox to other people? The other thing, looking at it from the standpoint of actually be doing DJing, is, does the dreamer feel for some reason that they may fail if they even try to upgrade or improve their skills? Um, Now, I had a couple of questions about this suggestions from the friends to perhaps change his style of music. Um, how does the dreamer feel about the friends telling him, like, listen, your music ain't cutting it. Why don't you try something else? And it prompted the question, how does that make the dreamer feel, that their judgment, in a sense, was being questioned as to what they should be doing? Um, the other question I had here was, does the thought of shifting to another music genre, or in a broader sense, lifestyle, frighten or spook this dreamer in some way? And why is that? What is it about this change that could create disharmony, a problem, upset? What is it that's preventing a change from occurring? And even though the dream actually drops the storyline, my question here for the dreamer is, what does the dreamer think about doing with regard to these DJing skills or lack thereof? Are they just going to accept that I can't do it? I'm not going to do it? Or are they going to say, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to change. I'm going to try and improve my skills, practice, or work with somebody whose skills in that particular area are better, or just give up. Um, and it to me it generates the question here of, do they stay in the same place and stagnate? In other words, don't move at all, or make some kind of movement to effect a change of some kind. Then we'll leave that for the moment. We'll move on to the final section of the dream, which is this lavish, extravagant party. And the hostess is a very managing, managing woman. Apparently, she's organizing and managing all aspects of the event, even to what people will wear, who's in, who's out, what's in, what's to eat, what how you dress, all of that, which seems quite demanding. This person is quite demanding and quite imposing, it seems, in wanting to impose her will on everybody. But it's her party, so I guess she can do that. But it just seems a bit much to tell people you must wear such and such, unless it's like a black and white ball where you're supposed to wear black and white, and everybody knows that. But there's something about managing the situation and controlling the situation. Now, the dreamer runs into this person organizing the party at a large train station. And my first question is, where is this person going? This person alone trying to organize this party. Now they're at a train station, which implies movement, fairly quick movement, but they're at a standstill. They're not on a train. They're not going anywhere. So although movement is implied, it's not. There's nothing going on. Um, the dreamer is merely passing some time with this female friend, the managing lady, while waiting for his wife to turn up and meet him at the train station. Now, my questions here for the dreamer was: are there friends, whether they be female or male, whom the dreamer finds agreeable to spend time with when not with their wife? And what does that entail? Is it just conversation, or is it something that's slightly unorthodox about it? So is this my leading on to my question is next question is whether this is another unorthodox behavior or action being contemplated on the dreamer's part. Now, we took have those three bits of the dream, and the trick of it is to find out what the common thread is between all three parts. And what I came up with, and I'm as always interested to hear what the dreamer has to say afterwards, um, is there's something about doing things the right way versus the unorthodox or wrong way, if you will. And there seems to be a bit of indecision, perhaps, on the part of the dreamer. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? Um, I'm not very good at it, but I'm not sure what to do. And so I'll just leave it alone completely because I can't do it. Um, and there's the dreamers getting advice, getting suggestions made to them, but they're not acted upon. They're just there, without any clear decision one way or the other being made. And I wonder here if the dreamer makes decisions or choices based on others' opinions. if there's something about following the conventional orthodox way of doing things is just easier, don't have to stress over it, there's no arguments, you just keep the peace, keep your head down and keep the peace. And I wonder if there's some area of the dreamer's life that is like that, that they just kind of keep their heads down and just to keep the peace. And my other thread here is that is this unorthodox or non-traditional, if you will, way of doing things something that is actually feels natural to the dreamer? In other words, they're acting against their own feelings, their own nature. Or are they being forced by circumstance to adopt a particular stance or position in order to keep the peace? And I just wonder, is doing this is something that actually is right and sensible for the dreamer? Does it make sense? Yeah, it makes sense from the point of view, perhaps, that they're keeping the peace, but inside they've got all of these emotions, all these feelings, all these different things going on that are not being addressed, that are not being looked at. They're just being shoved to one side um, and not really addressed at all. So, how does that feel for the dreamer to feel that they're either acting in against their own nature or their own thoughts and feelings about something in order to just keep the peace? At some point something has to give. If there's any tension that's been created as a result of just keeping the peace, it's eventually going to backfire, because all of those feelings of maybe resentment or whatever it may be will start to build up and then need to come out. It's like you keep stuffing stuff inside of a closet until finally the closet door just bursts open because you've overstuffed it. It can't hold anymore and it must come out. And I wonder if there's an area of the dreamer's life that feels like that they're just shoving stuff in a closet somewhere and not dealing with it in order to have a peaceful life. It'll only be peaceful for a while, rest assured, because if it's something that's really bothering you, it will keep gnawing at you to the point where you break. So there you have it. Or you have orthodox versus unorthodox ways, and not really addressing feelings that are attached to those different ways. As I said, I'm always interested to hear afterwards from the dreamer what their thoughts are once they've heard this. So um, in the coming weeks, I keep saying I would like to go back over uh, old dreams with clients and share their thoughts and their feelings as to what was brought out of the dream with my having worked on it, and what changes, if any, it sparked in their own lives, whether on a purely active level or more just in terms of their way of thinking. So there you have it. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Have a great evening and rest of the week, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.